back to our NCAA football win total series. We are moving on in the ACC with Pitt. And really, Pitt, since joining the ACC, has been average. They haven't been bad. They haven't been great. Paul Christ was there in 2012 when they were still in the Big East. 6 wins that year and a bold loss. He jumped them to the ACC in 2013. 7 wins with a bowl win. 6-6 in 2014 with a bowl loss. Paul Christ shows up, 2 straight bowl games, both losses, and then he's 5-7 in 2017. Back to a bowl game in 18 and 19. 2020, 6-5, and then his best year, 2021, they go 11-3. They end up in the Peach Bowl. They lost the Peach Bowl. 2022, 9 wins. They've been consistently average, and then last year happened. So we look at last year. It starts out with a win against Wofford. Then they lose by 6 to Cincinnati at home. They lose to West Virginia on the road. They lose to UNC at home. They lose to Virginia Tech on the road. They beat Louisville. Looks like it might turn around, but then they lose at Wake Forest by 4, get destroyed by Notre Dame, lose against Florida State, lose against Syracuse. They finally beat Boston College 24-16, and then lose at home against Duke. And it ends up being a 3-9 season for Pat Narduzzi. And he makes some changes. Frank Cignetti Jr. canned as the offensive coordinator. They bring in Cade Bell. Cade Bell was the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach for West Carolina last year. They were the #1 offense in FCS last year. They have to improve the offense because it can't be that bad again. It's just really not possible. They were that bad. Quarterback situation is going to be interesting. Nate Yarnell got some playing time last year. He really was the 3rd quarterback, but Phil Dracovich's gone. Christian Villieu left for Georgia State. Both of those guys were atrocious last year, so Nate Varnell will hopefully step that up. If he's not the guy, Eli Holstein comes in from Alabama. Both of them can throw the ball. They just need time. Wide receiving core, Conta Mumfield's back. He had 44 catches and 5 scores last year. Gavin Bartholomew should be a good tight end if they get him the ball. They did not do that well last year. They also have San Diego State transfer Raphael Williams. They have a deep threat in Sincere Lee from West Carolina. The receiving core is solid. It's not amazing, but solid. At running back, they've got Rodney Hammond coming back, 547 yards and 4 scores last year. He was the leading rusher for Pitt, though. West Carolina's Desmond Reed comes in, 897 yards and 13 scores last year. Offensive line should be solid, though. Pass protection was pretty good last year. There weren't a ton of tackles for a loss. They just didn't do much with that protection. They bring back 4 starters, so the offensive line should be solid this year. On defense, they got to find some pass rushers. They lost Deion Haynes, Samuel Okonlu's going to Colorado, so they brought in Nate Matlack from Kansas State. He's supposed to be the main pass rusher. There's not a ton of guaranteed options, but there are options there to fill that role. Sean Fitzsimmons, Nakai Johnson will be inside. They also have Indiana transfer Nick James. Not a lot of experience there on that front line. Linebacking core also got hurt by the transfer portal. They lost Solomon DeShields. They lost Bengali Kamara. They have Key Thompson, 251 career tackles from Ohio. They have Brandon George in the middle, but again, inexperience is the main thing at linebacker. The secondary has been better in recent years, but again, extremely green. They bring in the Kentucky transfer, Jeremiah Anglin. The other side is going to be Rylan Gandy. Overall, the defense is extremely young, not a ton of experience, but if they can play well, if they get coached up well, which Pat Narduzzi coaches good defense, they should be fine there. Big key for them, if they can get the pass rush going, that will be the biggest key on defense. On offense, it's just actually moving the ball. Win total set at 5.5 wins everywhere. And if we look at the schedule, they open up August 31st against Kent State at home. That should be a win. September 7th, they hit the road to Cincinnati. I do lean loss there. Then they get West Virginia at home September 14th in a massive rivalry game. This is a true toss-up. Flip a coin to figure out which way you want to go. I have absolutely no clue on that one because it's just going to be that good of a matchup. September 21st, Youngstown State is the home game. That will be a win. Then they have their first bye September 28th. October 5th, they're at North Carolina. I lean loss there. October 12th, Cal comes to town. They cross the country. They're not that great. I lean win for Pitt there. They get their second bye on October 19th, and then they stay home. Syracuse, October 26th. If the defenses figure things out by then, I like them to have a field day with Kyle McCord and that Syracuse team. I'm going to give them the win there. November 2nd, they're at SMU. I lean loss, but I could see them picking that one up. November 9th, home against Virginia. Virginia's not very good. It's at home. That will be a win. November 16th, Clemson. That is my first, this is going to be a loss. They're losing there. November 23rd, at Louisville. I lean loss. It just depends on where Louisville is at in their season. And then November 30th, for bowl eligibility, they go to Boston College, and I lean win there. I have Pitt at 6-6 this year. We are going to take the over 5.5. We're going to take it over at BetMGM. It's sitting at plus 120 right now, and that's going to be our pick here. If you like this content, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to share it with your friends. We'll see you next time.